Hello there guys, and welcome back to the FIFA 20 career mode with Napoli, and today we're episode 32, and today is the end of season 2 of the career mode. So before we head on into the episode, if you guys could leave a like down below on the video, I'd really appreciate that. So after last episode and a disappointing, really bad defeat to Barcelona, it weren't a bad defeat, like the goal they scored was a rebound, but I feel like that's what makes it a really bad defeat. To concede to a rebound goal, you know, makes it horrible in itself. So, like I say, to concede in that manner and, like I say, lose the final of the Champions League is very upsetting. But like I said, onwards and upwards for us. Hopefully, the manager rating isn't looking too great right now, 64 and in the red, and we finished 6th, which still means we got in the Europa League. So hopefully that might just push us on into next season and maybe help us keep our job. I don't know, but we'll find out at the end of this episode today. So one thing I thought we'd do, have a look over the whole save, have a look at the top scorers, top assists, the players we most use, the formation we use the most, finances, objectives, other leagues, so on and so forth. But we'll have a look at the whole thing in today's episodes. Like I said, let's have a quick look first at the league table. Oh, sorry, that's top scorers. More or less ruined that. Let's have a look at the league table and how everyone finished this season. So, Juventus topping the table. I believe this is... I think last year it was Inter Milan. I think it was. So this year, anyway, Juventus topping it. 34 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses, 103 points. Milan, not too far. Well, like, you could say too far behind, but considering everyone else, 8 points behind on 95 points. Then Inter Milan, only 3 points behind them. Torino in 4th, making up the top 4. And making up the top 6 was Lazio, and then us in 6th, and then Roma, Sampdoria, Cagliari and Fiorentina making up the top 10. Now I'm sure the start of the season Fiorentina was somewhere down below here. I think around about 15th, 16th area, so they really picked it up in this career mode towards the end. As you can see there, Atalanta as well, 11th Bologna, 12th Sassuolo, 13th Udinese, Hellas Verona, Parma, and then I can never really pronounce that team, Frosinone, something like that. Coming in 17th, Genoa. Benevote, I can't pronounce that either. Anyway, that team there, 19th, and then 20th, Pescara, and I believe Frestonone, something like that. They were 17th, as you can see there. I'm sure they got promoted from last season, so you can see they're staying in the Serie A this season as well, only by a point. So they've done well there to stay up. But like I say, this season we should have done so much better. But I think after a poor start to the season, and then luckily at the end of the season we went on that unbeaten run of 13, 14 games, which really helped us pick up the points near the end. And you can see there, Roma finishing on 72 points. So we were 6 points ahead of them, but at one point they were ahead of us. So I think us beating them and, like I say, other results going our way helped us a lot. Looking at the top scorers here, and as you just seen, it was not Ronaldo at the top. Ronaldo missing out by 1 goal to a player from Torino, who scored 26 goals in 38 games, Piatek, unsure on how to pronounce that. But yeah, he was top of the scorers list in the Serie A this season. But then you've got 3 Juventus players, Ronaldo, Dybala and Asensio. Ronaldo on 25, Dybala on 24, Asensio on 24. Just pretty mad, to be fair. And Asensio 24 in 33 games. Better than Dybala there, and I believe he is playing on a left wing for Juventus right now. And you got in 5th, you got Perisic from Lazio, 22 goals, and then Marlon for us, equal with him on 22 goals in less games, 36 games, coming in 6th. Then you got Costa, I believe that's Diego Costa for Milan, and I think this season as well he is retiring for Milan. But you can see that Inter Milan not in the top scorers as much as like Juventus, and they come 3rd. You can see there Rashford in 11th with 15 goals, Depay in 13th, Lukaku in 14th. And have they got any other players really? No, so that's their main players there. You can see Milan, Leao there coming in 16th, and they got Kessie just coming in there at the bottom, 10 goals in 34 matches. So you can see why Inter Milan, Juventus and AC Milan are all in the top 3. Because they've got so many players in that top scorers list. They've got goals sort of coming from all over the field. Like Juventus there, you've got Ronaldo up front, Dybala at cam, Asensio at left wing. Milan, you've got Diego Costa. They've got another player there in 12th. Leao as well. Then they've got Kessie. So they've got all these players in different positions, you know, scoring goals. Or maybe not in different positions, but Even players coming off the bench possibly scoring as well for them. We can see there Torino, widely coming for pay attack there, 26 goals. You know, top of the scorers list there. Really, really good player. But let's have a look as well at the assists. So you got Milan there at the top with Costa, 15 assists in 37 games. Perisic there for Lazio, scoring and assisting for Lazio. Rashford there, maybe not on the top scorers list, but definitely assisting. Then Asensio as well on 11 assists, which he's going to get the assists when you've got Ronaldo up front who can put them away. But for us, Marlon as well, as much as he was scoring the goals within the, well, he was top 6 for scorers. He's top 7 here for assists, 9 assists in 36 games. We've got any other players here in the top 25. Okay, so we got Maddison there, which makes sense. He played at Cam for us. Fabian as well, 24th, and that was it for the top 25. So not too many players, but it's great to see more of our players featuring within that top 25 list. So here we go, here's the squad, and I feel like this is the team we use most over the season. As you can see, Marlon up front, he started more or less every game for us. I'm not going to lie, and when he wasn't on the pitch, you could sort of tell. His height is 5'10", and when you look at Insigne down here, 5'4", it's a massive difference really in game. Because a lot of the time, trying to get crosses in with Insigne in the box, he wasn't really getting onto many headers. Whereas Marlon was nicking the odd goal here and there. With being 5'10", helped a lot. Bergwijn on the right wing. Like I say, you can see there, he play right wing, left wing, and cam. He, at first, I wasn't too sure on him once I brought him in. I brought him in just because of his overall and his age. But at first, like I say, I wasn't too sure on him. But once I played a few games with him, I was really starting to enjoy him. And you can see the pace there, 92. And you could just tell he's got the pace to just push on past wingers as well. Lozano, a great prayer. Last season, who did we have on the left last season? Last season we played a 4-2-2. So he was on the bench. Callejon, was playing most games. But as we've seen Callejon's overall starting to drop, because he was 33, 32, obviously 33 towards the end of the season, Lozano started getting a lot more games, and in this season he's more or less started most games for us on that left wing. And he's been a really good player for us in 97 pace as well. Just unbelievable pace. Maddison as well there, starting at cam most games. Great player. He's at an 86 overall now, and like I say, with these three up front, their overalls are shot up as well. Lozano 86, Marlon 87. I can see Marlon easily reaching 90, 91, possibly 92 within the seasons coming. Bergwijn as well, same for him. He's only 23 and he's 86 overall. And like I say, Maddison 24, 86 overall. Great player, and having him on the pitch, and I've got him on the instruction to stay forward on attack, not drop down, because a lot of the time you can see there he's got a medium defensive work rate. Even though he's got high attacking, I found him coming back quite a bit. And not that it was a problem, he was helping out at back, but a few times this season when we've got him on the front foot and staying up front, he has been nicking the odd rebound goal or even scoring a goal from just having the ball up there. So he's been a great little player up front as well. Fabian, what more can I say? Great player, plays centre mid, CDM, cam, and he's 25 years of age and he's 89 overall. So I can see him reaching possibly 94, or even if you can get to 95 in this game, then I can see him reaching that. Alan, he's been declining this season, I think by only 1 overall, but I think possibly with him playing so many games, he hasn't declined as much. But him, great player all round, great player. Hasn't got the best pace there, you can see 74, but that's not what I really need from him. I could need him to pick the ball off Koulibaly and Manolas, and then once he picks the ball up, I can either want him to play it out to Lozano, play it out to Maddison, and he's sort of like that pivot in midfield, the playmaker, deep lying playmaker as you call him. And I thought I'll sort of use him as that, and he's a really good player. Like I say, great stats all round. The other thing that really lets him down is his pace, but apart from the pace, like I say, I don't really use him for that, and his shooting. He's like I say, he plays a lot more deeper. And you can see there, by a higher defensive work rate, he does play deeper, so he doesn't really need the pace and the shooting as much. And then Koulibaly, captain of the team, 29 years of age, 93 overall, the highest rating in the team. And without him in a lot of these games, we would have conceded a hell of a lot more goals. And I doubt we would have gone on that unbeaten run. Manolas, great partnership with Koulibaly, them two together. It's just amazing to see them two. You can see he's got high pace as well, which I didn't really notice until now. But the high pace does help. Koulibaly hasn't got the fastest of pace, well, the highest rating in pace. But Manolas has, so he can push on the ball and get up the field a little bit more, whereas Manolas can stay back. Like I say, right back and left back, brought them in the start of this season. They've been really great. Priera, 88 pace. I sort of brought him in for the pace and the overall, so I knew he'd have a lot better defending stats than Mario Rui. and Malcoit at our right back and left back position. Like I say, left back as well. I brought him in over the other left back I was going to sign. I can't think right now who the other left back was, but I brought this guy in just because I thought he was a bit more well-rounded, higher pace as well, and the pace is what I wanted because I got the left back and right back on the overlap. So with their pace, they could do the overlap a lot more frequently and get back in time to not cause any danger. Meret in goal, 88 overall, and I think he's grown by 10 overalls, 9 or 10 overalls in 2 seasons, which is absolutely amazing. Because when we started, it was Meret and Ospina. Meret was on the team, Ospina on the bench, and I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to start Meret just because he was 22 at the time. And I was thinking, you know what, he's only 78 overall, or 79, I can't really remember, but I was thinking he'll gain those two overalls soon. And once he gets to 80, 81, he'll be more higher than Ospina at a younger age. So I thought, why not? And here he is, 88 overall. And he has got a lot of training in him. We did train him quite often throughout the first and second season. But like I say, now I took him off training. 24, 6'3", left-footed. And like I say, the stats there for goalkeeping, it's just outrageous. And like I say, towards the start of the season, I thought a lot of the goals we conceded was due to him. But towards the end of the second half of the season, he has kept a lot of goals out, which when he was at the start of the season, he was letting them in. So he's definitely grown as a player overall. And like I say, a quick look at the bench here. Insigne, a player I don't want to get rid of. When he does come on in games in the second half, he can make a difference. Bale here, brought him in last season in January, of the first season. Gone down a little bit in overalls. I think he's gone down by 2. But still a great player to bring off the bench. Same goes for Mertens. I've started playing him more at cam. So when Maddison's tired, I bring Mertens on at cam. He does a great little job there for us. Elmas hasn't really got a look in, but towards the end of this season, when players have been getting a lot more fatigued, I brung him on. He's done a good job, to be fair. We've only been 78 rated, coming into a team of, 86, 89 rated players. He's done a good job. Then we've got Konate here as well, who has been moaning he hasn't got enough game time as he deserves, and rightfully so. But when you've got, Koulibaly there, 93 rated, and Manolas 88 rated, it's hard to find him time for a game other than sit on the bench and play when they're fatigued. And again, Maro Roy, he's been on the bench, swapping in between him and Malcoit because I don't really need a left back and right back mid-game, if I'm going to be honest. And like I say, some of these other players never really played with. Some of the youth players haven't really played. I tried to get them out on loan. The ones that are left haven't been able to find a club to go on loan to. Luperto as well. Like I say, when Koulibaly and Manolas have been fatigued, Konate and Luperto have come in. Done a decent job, to be fair. They haven't been too bad. And especially Luperto, although being 75 rated, has done a lot better than I thought he would. Same again for Verde. When Lozano's been tired and Bale, and I couldn't really find a replacement for the left wing, he's come on. Done a decent job. Not one of the best players I've used, but it's obviously hard to compare him against Lozano and an Insigne who normally play on the left. But he's done a decent job. And like I say, having 86 pace definitely makes him more of a useful player. So the last 2 players I've got here. Felix, again, a player we bought in the summer. 88 rated, only 21 years of age. Clearly a wonder kid. And for some reason, I just cannot use him. I don't know what it is. Whether it's my playing style, whether I'm not playing him in the right positions or right formation. I cannot seem to get used to him. So if we do keep the job for next season, I'm thinking possibly Felix could be the player to go. And you're thinking that you've got to be daft to get rid of him. But to be fair, I'd rather replace him with a player I'm definitely going to use. And if we can get a lot of money in, just spend that money again on another wonder kid, for example. And possibly that new wonder kid we bring in could be a lot better. And then the last player to finish off, Zielinski again. He's injured here. Like I say, we had a little confusion on earlier on in the season where to re-simulate the games, and unfortunately Zielinski in the following episode got injured for 7 months, where before that it was Fabian. Like I say, I had a little bit of a problem, didn't save the game, but anyway, Zielinski ended up being out for 7 months in the rerun after that. And again, I'm sort of glad, well not glad obviously because he's a great player, 84 rated. I'd rather have him on the pitch over Elmas. But constantly with Zielinski, constantly asking for game time after game time after game time. And let's just say I had a run of games, and let's just say I played an episode. The start of the next episode, Zielinski, I need more game time. I put him in for a game, or I put him on the bench, I need more game time, I need more game time. It's just like, I've got Alan there, I've got Fabian there, and it's the same problem again that I have with some of the other players. It's hard to bring them on when I've already got higher rated players on the team already. So, they're going to moan about the squad role, which maybe we need to have a look at some of the contracts and sort that out. But like I say, that's the formation we went with, 4-3-3, and other players were mainly used for the second season. So this is how the finance screen looked after the season, well, the second season with Napoli. You can see here, profit 423 million, and then the expenses was 297 million euros, sorry, shall I say. And like I say, the earnings, we earned 721 million euros, mostly prize money and transfers. Merchandising, sorry, was a lot of it, but you can't really see that in game. You can't really affect that, if I'm going to be honest. Like I said, the others, match tickets, season tickets, pre-season prize money, which I think the pre-season tournament we didn't really do. I don't think we even went into the the semi-finals and finals. I think we just simulated that. But as you can see, we go over to transactions here and some of the little figures here as well. The weekly earnings as well, and the merchandise season earnings. Sorry, like I say, 300 million there, and the budget, transfer budget again. We had a lot here, and like I say, 143 million euros in a transfer budget. And it's 98-2, and we've still got 830,000 in the wage budget, which is pretty mad, really, when you think about it. And like I say, after that first transfer window, because we sold a few players as well, Callion as well, being one of the players that went out, brought us in 20-30 million. And because of the starting transfer budget we got from Napoli, in the January transfer window, I didn't really feel a need to buy any players, if I'm going to be honest. So I ended up just keeping the transfer budget as it was. Didn't buy any players, and that is the finance screen we ended up with. So then this was our objectives for the season. You can see right now we are below target in the red. So like I say, it's not looking good for us. So let's have a little look at the objectives we did complete and we didn't complete. That would help us towards our manager rating. So you can see here straight off the overview, gained 200 million euros earnings from the shirt sales within a season. So we've done that. The second one was win the league title. We didn't win that. We come 6th, which like I say is really bad. And then was to win the Champions League, and we got to the final, so maybe they'll see that as a not too bad, but at least we got to the final. But like I say, it still didn't complete the objective. This was a low priority, which was the youth development, which like I say, with all the overalls in the squad being so high and the overalls on the bench being so high, I found it quite hard to get a player that was a low overall on the bench in the starting 11, starting games when all the games was very important. Like I say, we were supposed to win the title, so we couldn't really drop any points at any point in the season. The brand exposure, we done that, and that was a critical priority, so that's great. At least we completed that. Continental success was a higher priority to win the Champions League, and unfortunately only got to the final, like I say, getting beat last episode to Barcelona 1-0. The second one being domestic success, critical priority, and it was to win the Coppa Nacional, and we only got to the quarterfinals in that, getting knocked out by Roma. Like I say, they knocked us out last season as well, so that was really unfortunate. I was hoping to win the Coppa Nacional, but don't forget at the start of the season we did win the Super Cup for winning the Champions League obviously last season, and facing the winners of the Europa League, but obviously they don't really count that in. So we didn't fail, we failed to win the Coppa Nacional, and we failed to win the Serie A, so that's 2 X's there for the domestic success, which was a critical priority. And then the final one, financial, and we don't have any objectives at all. So then we've already looked at the league table. We didn't have a look though at the other league, well at the other cup final, sorry, should I say. So let's have a look who won the Coppa Nacional in the end. So it was Juventus beating Inter Milan 3-1, as you can see there in the semi-finals. Inter Milan beating Lazio, and then Juventus beating Roma, and this is where we got knocked out in the quarterfinals to Roma beating us 2-1. And I do remember the second goal that Roma scored was not a fluke goal, but it was Meret trying to play a short overarm pass and ended up passing it to one of the Roma players and ended up scoring the second goal, which ended up knocking us out of the Coppa Nacional. Like I say, it was unfortunate, but here in the round of 16 we ended up playing our first game in the Coppa Nacional, beating Sampdoria 3-1. But like I say, getting knocked out in the quarterfinals. In the American Challenge Cup, let's have a look who won that. So that was Atletico Madrid beating PSG 2-1. And then in the Super Cup, like I say, we won that 2-1 against Arsenal. And it was nice, like I say, at the start of the season, it was nice to play that, win a bit of silverware. And that's what boosted our hopes to hopefully win the Serie A this season and the Champions League. Like I say, unfortunately, it didn't happen. The Champions League here, let's have a little look at the semi-finals as well as the final, which you guys already know. Barcelona winning us 1-0. In the semi-finals, Barcelona beating Atletico Madrid 4-2. We beat Bayern 2-1. And then in the quarterfinals, which was a crazy game between us and Manchester City, we won 5-4. Barcelona 4-2 against Dortmund, and Bayern 3-2 against PSG, Atletico Madrid 4-3 against Real Madrid, because last season when we won the Champions League, we played against Real Madrid in the final, and it took us till extra time to win 2-1 in that year's Champions League. Let's have a look who won the Europa League and who will be facing Barcelona in the Super Cup. And it'll be Valencia winning against Chelsea 1-0. And the semi-finals, Valencia there winning Frankfurt 5-3. And Chelsea winning Leverkusen there 4-1 in the Europa League. So one thing I also wanted to do was have a little look at the other leagues, see how they ended up, see if they was as dominant as ours, with having 3 teams at the top on, I think it was 80 points, and the rest sort of on 70, 50, also, sorry, 70, 60 and 50. Let's have a little look at the Premier League and see how they ended up. So you can see there, Manchester City not losing a game at all. 35 wins, 3 draws, ended up on 108 points. And Spurs in second on 99. Arsenal, then Liverpool coming in fourth. To be fair, Arsenal and Liverpool on an equal amount of points there. Chelsea and then Manchester United making the top 6. Well, look at the difference there between Manchester United in 6th and Manchester City winning it on 108 points. 28 point gap there, which is pretty big to be fair. And a little look here at the League One. Let's see, PSG winning it there, not losing a game or drawing a game at all. And I'm pretty sure that was the case last season when we had a look at the League One to see how it ended up. You can see there, 114 points. Monaco coming in second, but they had to lose 2 games and draw 6. Let's have a look at the German league, see how they ended up. Bayern, did they smash it? They did, but they've drawn 5 times, 29 wins. Dortmund coming in second there, only 4 points behind them, not too bad. Leverkusen only 2 points behind Dortmund. But look at the gap there, 92 points for the league leaders. Dortmund and then Leverkusen and Leipzig on 66 points. So there's a 20 point gap between 4th and 3rd, which is really mad if you think about it. You know, the 20 points, you know, between 3rd and 4th, it was not like that in this league, I know that for sure. And like I say, in the Premier League, it was 20 point difference between 6th and 1st. Here, it's 20 points difference between 3rd and 4th, which is pretty mad. Eredivisie, let's do a quick look at this. PSV winning at 95 points, Ajax there 92, Feyenoord on 81. So a little bit of a gap there between 2nd and 3rd. Like I say, we can see PSV winning it there, 31 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. And like I say, we've already seen the Italian league, so have a little look at the La Liga. Who won this? And this was Barcelona. Real Madrid only coming in 3 points behind them though, with 1 loss. 36 wins for Barcelona, 2 draws, no losses, and gained them the La Liga win on 110 points. Real Madrid on 107. Then, like I say, a bit of a point drop there, Valencia on 92. But a little bit of a disappointing season, you could say, for Atletico Madrid. 88 points there, not the best for them. Then Sevilla coming in 5th and Real Betis coming in 6th. Any other leagues worth looking at? I'm thinking, let's have a look at the Scottish League. Celtic there coming in 1st, 94 points. And Rangers only on 82. They lost 5 games compared to Celtic's only 1 loss in the league. So just before we sim ahead and find out if we are still going to be the manager of Napoli next season, I thought I'd have a little look at our career summary so far in this career mode. You can see there, clubs 1, league titles 0, domestic cups 1, 0, continental cups 1, so that'll be the Champions League. And our biggest win so far has been the Lokomotiv win in October, the 5-0 win. Then our biggest defeat was 4-0 loss against Dortmund. Like I said, that would have been in the pre-season tournament. I didn't play the games in that. I just simulated the games, and that is why that is there. 4-0 loss. Possibly could have been the same if I played. I'm not saying it being any different, but that is where that loss has come from. Then the record transfer fee is 74 million, 0.2 euros. And like I say, that was for Felix. Like I say, Felix, one of them guys that I've not really got to grips with just yet. And I paid all that money for him, which was more or less his release clause. And like I say, I'm thinking, sell him on, reinvest that money into another player. Like I say, I reckon we could possibly get more than that 74 million euros. Total earnings being 7.1 million. And I played 116 games, won 75 of them, drawn 18 and lost 23. Which isn't too bad so far for us. And you can see there, this is the season so far. And like I said, we've gone through this so far in the objectives. So you can see the Manager of the Month award 0, which is absolutely crucial, that we need to pick up one of them, and just proves they haven't really had a good month. We've had so many ups and downs. Towards the end of the season, we could have possibly won a Manager of the Month award. Possibly we should have for the unbeaten run, but we certainly weren't winning a Manager of the Year award, finishing 6th. You can see their record transfer fee paid 74 million, and the record transfer fee received was 62 million for Milic, and the league position being 6th. And that was the points tally and the wins, draws and losses for this season. So like I say, guys, wasn't the best of years for us as Napoli manager. Could have certainly done a lot better with the players we had. And like I say, we're going to quickly do this training while we're here. Why not? It gives a little bit of a boost if we aren't here next season. But like I say, could have definitely done a lot better. And possibly, just possibly, if we would have maybe simmed more games. In fact, we're just going to go to the calendar, sim straight to June the 30th, because I just want to get there. I just want to get the weight over and done with and see if we are going to be manager next season. Like I say, possibly would have simmed a few more games. I might have picked up a few more wins. Maybe my playing style at times wasn't the best, didn't suit the team. But I think just getting used to the 4-3-3, getting used to the players, and definitely towards the end of the season, you noticed that with the unbeaten run we went on. But I'm going to go end of season here, and let's have a see. Come to the surprise that we are not entirely satisfied with our results this season. We have failed to achieve a number of objectives and thus fallen short of what we expected to accomplish both on and off the pitch. We are hoping for a stronger commitment and better results from you. That said, we believe that you deserve another chance. We'd like to stay at Napoli next season. Okay, I did not expect that at all. If I'm going to be honest, I did not expect us to stay in the job. Just because, like I say, winning just the objective screen altogether. You know, all the X's we got. Coppa Nacional didn't win. Champions League we didn't win. Serie A we didn't win. You know, that's 3 main things we didn't win. And with a team like Napoli, you would have thought, with the players, they would have gone, you know what, get rid of the manager, get a new manager in, get Pep Guardiola in if we can. Get a manager in, if Pep was free. I doubt it, with getting a 108-point tally with Man City we just got then. But, they've trusted us. I'm very surprised. As you can tell, I was just so surprised, especially at that Barcelona defeat. I was just gutted, very, very gutted. But one player we are getting this season is none other than Lionel Messi. You can see there Barcelona getting mentioned as the Champions League winners. Messi, free kick, headed off the line by Allen. Like I say, in that game, I knew that it was more or less going to go in, so I thought, get Allen on the line. Got Allen on the line, Allen headed it away, and at that point I didn't press X or circle that I can remember. I think it was just an AI thing where they headed it away because it was too quick to react, and he headed it away into the path of Frankie de Jong and ended up smashing it in the back of the net to lose. But you can see there Messi picking up the Champions League win for Barcelona before leaving them, so a little bit of a win there for them. Like I say, I'm not too sure on who to pick up for this season as of yet. Leave some comments down below on some players. I'm looking more likely for a replacement for João Felix. I'm looking for another centre mid, possibly a Pogba, but I feel that's a little bit, I know it's unrealistic this career mode anyway, but a little bit unrealistic to nab Pogba from Barcelona when he'd most likely go to Juventus. So maybe another centre midfielder that could come on in replacement for Allen when he starts dropping a few more overalls. But like I say, anyway guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, a little look over the career mode in general. Like I say, some of the fees we paid, how much we've earned, the players, the stats, everything it is. Leave a like on the video, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all next time.